Okay, now we should have microphone. What's up, Emily? Echo. Yeah, I updated my Twitch Studio beta, and apparently it didn't want to select the correct microphone, so... Well, I'm planning on working a bit on the C# API today. I don't really have any other kind of editor workflow stuff to work on right now, so I figured may as well flush out the C# API a bit. Although, I could also give the Script Imators project a go on the Linux branch. Don't even think I have that cloned right now. No, I don't, so let's get that. You haven't pushed the changes. Okay. Then I guess we're not taking a look at that today. Well, either way, I'm gonna be working mainly on C# API, and I really wanted to do a stream today because by streaming today, I'm pretty sure I will be given the option to become an affiliate on Twitch. So I figured I may as well do it, you know. But yeah, so one of the biggest problems with the C# API right now is the fact that you can't, the C# API cannot force the game to exit from C# other than doing, I think, environment.exit, which basically causes a crash, which, you know, isn't a big deal, but we should have proper shutdown. And so I think I'm just gonna add a quit. Probably don't need an exit code because I don't think it matters. Question is, does this have a, it has a close. It's not finished yet. Yeah, that's all right. By the way, Emily, from the looks of things, we're gonna be merging the Legendary branch to master either this week or next week. So you're gonna have a lot of fun with that, I think. Yeah, more work. What can you do? So, do we have a static way of getting? Yep. Close. Maybe we should actually use an event. Because I think we, in editor layer, when we close the window, I think we actually push an event. Yeah, dispatch a window close event. So that's probably the correct way of doing it. Cool. I'm also going to be exposing a couple of new components. Because I think the directional light component isn't exposed at all. In fact, I think a lot of components are not exposed. Skylight probably isn't exposed. I need to do some proper testing with the raycasting kind of collision Marshall system. Also, what is this character? There's a random character that apparently doesn't exist. Okay, that's weird. Need to properly expose the camera component. Yeah. Should probably add some caching for the tag as well, because otherwise we are constantly copying what could potentially be quite large strings. Same thing for the text component, should cache that. We should especially cache the strings in the text component, because otherwise that would not be good. Yeah, also in, well, so here's the thing. This application quit should not always do this. This should only happen if this is a distribution build. In the editor we want to stop playing, right? Which is the kind of the main reason for doing this, because otherwise if you call this, then it will close the editor. Now I think if I do this, it should be fine. But do we even have a way of cancelling play mode from within the engine? Because we'd have to call on scene stop. Yeah, how do we do this? Because obviously the engine is not aware of editor layer, which makes perfect sense. So maybe use some kind of event. Alright, we could potentially have a editor stop play event. Potentially. I don't like doing that though, but it's probably the better way to handle it. Yes, we could do that. Maybe add a separate category for editor stuff. Yeah, sure. Add a new file. Editor start play event. Could potentially have like a reason for it, so you could like provide a message, because maybe we want this if there's like an exception thrown or something like that. But for now, we'll just do this. And we need probably don't really need to provide a constructor, but why not? Finally, somebody in the team is streaming. What do you mean? I stream. Well, I streamed yesterday, but I haven't really streamed that much. Tim hasn't streamed in like since we did Blood and Dare, I don't think. He streamed 8 days ago, so. What's up, the Chudo? Yeah, I'm doing alright. A bit tired, but otherwise I am perfectly fine. Play mode. Tim and Cherna has not streamed after the jam. Well, Tim streamed 8 days ago, but you know, C# stream, Invisible Programmer, and it's C++. Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of have to extend the C++ side, you know. Is it that? Editor exit play mode. Yep. And it's event category editor. Sure. Let's go for that. Then in editor layer, and where do we handle events? Here. And we basically want this. Probably have it handle it completely. Okay. I think that's about everything. And in distribution builds we know close event. Cool. But yeah, I think I'm not sure. I think with Jan, he generally feels that streaming can kind of lessen his productivity, but in my case I just think it makes me more productive because I can't just sit around and procrastinate forever. And also I think it's really fun to stream. It's probably gonna be a shorter stream though. Probably like another hour or so. Just because it's almost dinner time. Forced to actually do something when you stream. Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't just start a stream and then sit around for, 20 minutes doing nothing. So it definitely makes me more productive. So, yeah, because you see in now the main menu in Forest ended up being stripped out of the build because we just felt it wasn't necessary. But originally we were doing environment.exit, which basically causes a crash, and it also shuts down Hazelnut when you run the game in the editor. So now should be application quit. And I'm just using this to test. We're probably not going to have a main menu. So hopefully this will just work. And it does work. Cool. Trying to release an object reference using invalid handle. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Now, I imagine we'll want to expose some more components. Probably starting with the directional light component, because that can be quite useful if you want to have like a day-night system. You can just get the kind of sun directional light and rotate that to make the sun move. Let's thank you, Samuka, for following. Highly appreciated. So, what does a directional have? It has radiance intensity. Not sure if these two are used. But let's just go to the Synarchy panel and see. Directional light components. So radiance intensity. I mean, we have these and source size, but I don't know that those actually do anything. I mean, if I disable the fog and we find directional light, oh yeah, they actually do stuff. But the soft shadows doesn't do anything, I don't think. Source size probably does something. So we probably want cast shadows to be exposed as well, but not the soft shadows thing, because I don't think that's used. So I can just steal these. Light size. Shadow amount. Well, that is used. At least it's getting passed to to the shaders, I think. But we haven't exposed it in here. I'm not sure if that's something we're supposed to do. Point light. Let's just copy the entire thing. Doesn't have a radius, but it has light size. What do you play? You mean the music, or like in terms of what games I play? Games. I don't really play a lot of games. I actually want to kind of get back to playing more and more games now. But I mainly like playing, fantasy games like Skyrim. I enjoy Surviving Mars quite a bit as well. Minecraft sometimes, but that's rare. But I really want to get back into playing more games. Yeah, Skyrim's great. Been playing that quite a bit recently, since I got my new PC. I'm not a super big fan of online games. I have played Fallout 76 a bit. I'm actually planning on playing that relatively soon. Because even though there's a lot of problems with it, I do quite like just like the world. But yeah, no, I'm not too big into kind of big online games. Don't know why, really. They can be quite fun. That says. I really need to get visual assist, because this is just so annoying. Okay. Oh. Directional. I used to play quite a bit of like racing games when I had a console, and I really love playing those kinds of games. But that kind of has to be done on a console or with a steering wheel setup, so I currently don't own any of those. I really don't know why we still do this. We shouldn't be able to get an entity if like an entity shouldn't even be set to a valid thing if it doesn't have a valid ID. So okay. Wait, I forgot to register those internal calls. There we go. Is there anything else I have to do? Well, let's go check out the documentation here. Yep. Yep, that's it. Man, this is starting to become a rather big file. 5,100 lines. So that's directional lights, skylight. Don't know that we need to expose that, but maybe we do. Because you may want to modify intensity and the azimuth inclination for like day-night cycles. Because I think yeah. Should probably expose the skylight component as well. Sure, let's do it. I think it's time that we kind of make sure that the C# API is as good as can be. So, the scene environment asset handle. I don't think we want to expose that yet. Because we can't even take, like, that's not something you really should be changing through code. Because that would either change the actual skybox, or if it's a dynamic sky, it would change kind of the asset handle of the dynamic sky, which you don't want to do. So intensity may be LOD, although I don't think so. So intensity and yeah, this thing. Yeah, it's a start. Why don't you add the internal call straight on the properties for the primitive types instead of calling internal? You mean, why don't you add the internal call straight on the properties for primitive types instead of calling internal underscore in C#? So the big reason for that is, like, you probably know this, and I may be misunderstanding, but to register an internal call, you need to type in the name of the class, and for organizational purposes it's easier if they're all in a single class, as opposed to kind of being divided up into each individual class. But I may also be misunderstanding what you mean. Why did I do that? I could just do this instead. Do I really want to type this out as an entire thing, or do I want them kind of separate? I probably want them as separate things, to be honest. So get turbidity. Is that even how you spell it? And inclination. Also, I think I just realized what you were kind of talking about. You mean like binding the property getter and setter as internal calls instead of having an additional method? Is that kind of what you were getting at? Yeah. Can you do that in Mono? Because I know they're like just methods in the end, but does Mono support that? Yeah, I'm not sure. Could be something we can do in the future. For now, I kind of just went with the most basic approach. And I think it's the x-axis that stores it. Yeah, X for that. Y for the azimuth, and the inclination is the z-axis. Or set underscore property for method name in add internal call. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely take a look at that because it would clean up the code a bit. So probably something we can take a look at eventually. And inclination. Also, I mean, I think presumably instead of doing, say, just return and handling it smoothly, we probably want to throw some kind of exception if the entity isn't valid. But then again, I don't think you should ever have an invalid entity. Unless you've done something really stupid. Let's just do this. I'm also gonna have to write up a quick test to make sure everything works. Cool. But before I do that, I want to cache things. Where do we have it? Specifically, the text component. Because this could presumably be quite a large amount of text, and I'm pretty sure Mono actually does copy it. So, presumably we'll have a string. We could hash the string as well, and basically compare the hash to see if it has changed, and only get it when the hash is different. So we'd also have a, well, depends on what hash method we use. What does the C++ S3 hash string return? Does it even have that? Really? Yeah, it does have it. And returns a size t, which is an unsigned integer. Unsigned, is it? It's an unsigned 32-bit, right? No, it's a 64-bit unsigned. On 64-bit systems, which is what we're using. So that would make it a ulong. So how long have you been running C#, and do you think it's less than your life expectancy in any way? How long have I been running C#? Probably like 5 years maybe. I actually quite like C#. I think it's a really nice language to work in. Does have some weird syntax now and then, but I still quite enjoy it. Yeah, C# awesome. If that is not equal to that, we get the new text. And I'm not putting this on a single line because I can't be bothered. And I think it would be a absolutely gigantic line of code. Now the question is, should we update the hash immediately when we set, or wait until we query this the next time? Well, we probably want to wait until we query it the next time, since we're going to be using the std hash function. Why did I close the C++ components? Let's have this store text hash. Regenerate the hash here. Text component text hash. That's how you do it, right? Yeah. Get gas. Indeed. And when you set it, you also want to regenerate the text hash. So in theory, that's everything we have to do. As long as we don't set it anywhere else. Set it there. And you get banned. Also, presumably this should not have any text in it from the beginning. Yeah, damn bots. Although, to be fair, I think there's a lot fewer bots like that going around right now. Yep. And we should make sure this still works, because that does use text components and stuff like that. Cool. Now I think that text is kind of made. It's over here. I need to make sure that everything updates as it should. Because I don't want to accidentally break the game. It's over here. Well, that is not what I wanted. What happened here then? Oh, what happened here? Couldn't find it? So it's been destroyed multiple times or something? Will Hazel only be available for Windows? Is there any chance for Linux support? Emily, who was here a little while ago, is working on a Linux port, although I will say it's not an officially supported port. Right now the only officially supported platforms will be Windows and probably the Nintendo Switch. But the Linux port will be kind of community maintained. So it couldn't yeah. Wait, what happened here? Oh, because we erase it before we destroy the entity. And that means by the time this is called, it no longer exists. So I think this will solve it. I think. No. Because the entity no longer exists, of course. Yeah. So let's do... Don't do that. I guess... It's weird, I've never actually experienced this issue before, so I'm not sure why it's happening now. It's over here. Yeah, that works. So I think the text component is working because, man, it's dark. Because that kind of E to interact thing is programmatically shown, so probably works. Yeah, the text updates just fine. And since we're now caching it, pick the first letter 3 times. Wait, what? Is there a bug when you pick it up 3 times? What's the actual bug, though? Does it like, Like you kind of bypass everything here. So you can just run straight through the graveyard. The fog. Yeah, no, I think we fixed that. So that's what was causing the fog to spawn early. Yeah, no, because we fixed that. So yeah. Yeah, because I basically had no, well, this is interesting. Is that just constantly being spammed? Or does it only happen when does that happen? Okay. Something is not quite right. Yeah, it's been fixed, so. But yeah, I had no clue that that was what was causing it. But I guess that's what happens when you put an engine developer in charge of gameplay. Excuse me. So I'm trying to figure out when we start spamming that stuff. Maybe it happens on close. Thank you. Yeah, so on close, for some reason, all of these script entities are not considered valid. Or maybe we just don't clean them up properly. That's also a possibility. Yeah, we do have a slight memory leak, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, we do have a slight memory leak, but it's tiny, so I'm not even gonna bother. But yeah, so we should probably write up a little test to make sure that my components work. We can use this one, I suppose. Let's just do find entity by tag. Are those the allocations made by classes? So this kind of shows all allocations in kind of C++ land, right? So references and, well, it's pretty much only heap allocations, but reference counted objects and kind of typical heap allocated objects. We do have a separate debug panel for script engine stuff. But yeah, it seems, yeah, we do actually have a slight memory leak in the scripting as well, but it's again tiny. Why doesn't my Skylight component exist? Oh, I never added it. Well, let's not do it there. Let's just steal this. You know, I really love this new auto completion that is I think it's based on GitHub Copilot. And it's super useful. So thank you. Why is it reusing intensity here? Thank you. Inclination. Okay, that's that done. Let's check point directional light as well. Directional light. And I'll also do a text component real quick because I'm gonna verify that. Right, so we do this. We do text.text. Let's just store that quickly, and then do text.text is equal to hello, because I want to kind of verify the hash that it's being updated and dealt with properly. Let me do that again to get it. Now, I did update that. Yeah, cool. All right. Touch the debugger. That's a breakpoint there. Open up a test scene. Recreate an empty. So we have directional light, skylight. Let's add text. Save it, hit play. Okay. Yep, that looks correct. I get the directional light. Cast shadows true, intensity 1, light side 0, radiance is also correct. And then grab. Oh. Interesting. Did I not register the get hash internal call? No, I didn't. So once I've tested this, I'm probably gonna end the stream because I'm getting quite hungry and I'd like to have dinner. I'm probably not gonna stream anymore this week. At least not until I've had a chat with Jan about stuff. Why do you manually run the garbage collector from C++? Because there are times where we genuinely want to do that. When we, for example, reload the The script assembly, we definitely want to do that. We don't run it during like gameplay from C++. We kind of let Mono take care of that. But we definitely want to do that sort of on play and when we stop playing, and as well as some other times, to basically just free up any loose memory. Why is text null? And hash is... What? Because this shouldn't be the case. They should be different. Unless the hash internally is always 0. Let's put a breakpoint there. Because we have text, it's set to hello world. Mono doesn't automatically run it. I mean, it should run it if the allocated memory reaches the limit, though. Shouldn't it? Oh, wait. I know why this is. Because we never update the hash. Yeah, you don't really use mono. Yeah, you definitely want to be able to do some manual cleanup, because once the garbage collector reaches its limits and it kind of tries to clean everything up, that's not gonna result in what's happening here. That will just result in so much stuttering. So okay, so hash is 0, text is null. The internal hash is also 0. Oh, hang on, I think I know what's going on. It's because we need to do a thing in the scene serializer. That's not it. Yeah, have a good night, S Flashy. You see now it's working here. We update the hash. Yeah. The hash will now have changed, and so we get it again. Okay. Now we're saving some unnecessary copying of strings. And I'm just gonna go ahead and push this, and then I'm probably gonna end the stream. I feel like I've done a decent amount of work. Let's just check. Yep, that's fine. Sure, whatever. Expose 2 new components. Awesome. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and end the stream and have some dinner. I'll probably stream sometime next week, depending on if I have something interesting to show. This may not have been the most interesting, but I kind of just wanted to show. I kind of want to stream mainly because, well, I basically might be able to become an affiliate, which is quite nice. So, and I also wanted to get some stuff done. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, why did you give up on script compilation from within Hazel? Well, to be honest, that area is a bit touchy right now. Basically, Jan asked me to kind of add that in, make it so we could compile that stuff from Hazel. And I started working on it, and then he basically said that he didn't want us to automatically compile stuff from within Hazel, which not sure why. We're probably gonna have a chat about that. So it's not out the window yet, but we'll see, I guess. May or may not be a thing. But yeah, either way, I'm gonna head out. I'll see you guys some other time, I guess. Probably next week. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye.